Prakash, can we start?
Yes, Binaji. Namaste everyone. Welcome to Advaita Vedanta Satsang House. We are on the fourth session of Bhagavad Gita offered by Binduji. I'll paste the link for the YouTube channel in the chat, and you can also catch up on replays in the clubhouse. I'll be shutting off the chat, and the hand raising is already off, and we will open it up after about an hour when Binduji is completed the class. Over to you, Binduji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Namaste, everyone. We'll continue our journey through Bhagavad Gita from yesterday's class. Let me do the invocation. Om Namo Brahma Dibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Katrubhyo Vamshirishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtiveda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Guru Purnam. Gita Dhyana, last one. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Tunvandi Divyaistavai Vedai Sangapadakramो Vanishadai Gayandiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgadena Manasa Pashyandiyam Yoginaha Yasyandam Nabidussura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. There are two things in my mind. One is to continue with the comparison which I was doing in the last class between Shankaracharya, Ramanuja, Madhva, etc. Or should we complete the first chapter and then come to that? I think it will be better for us to do the completion so that we will know the dilemma of Arjuna and how this lenses, governing lenses of Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita, Integral Yoga, Kashmir Saivism, all of them, how they will be helpful for us in facing this dilemma in our life. Because when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, it should be something which is not for the textual purpose, nor for the purpose of learning a smriti. But as I often used to say that Bhagavad Gita is the handbook for life. And that handbook should be helpful to all of us. So, and at the same time, each one of us have got our own limitations, ideas, philosophies, values, beliefs, moral ethics, etc., etc. So, how we are going to evaluate is not the same across the board. Each one of us will have to evaluate from our own standpoint. Nobody is right, nobody is wrong. But how it is going to be helpful is what is more important to us. So I thought let us see the dilemma what Arjuna is facing before we start analyzing how will each one of us in Arjuna's position, not on the war front of Kurukshetra or what is being depicted as a pictorial story of Mahabharata, but our own war, which we face in our day-to-day survival, day-to-day problems, philosophical, social, moral, ethical, family, relationship, all of them are each type of crisis which we have to handle it. So from that point of view, I don't see Bhagavad Gita as a book which is to be, kept in the altar and done reverence to it. But it should be a pocket book, at least in our memory, so that we can recollect a advice from Krishna, how it has helped Arjuna. That should be our own approach to this study of Bhagavad Gita here. So even though I'm ready with that discussion for comparison between the different philosophies, I thought we will go through the first chapter and then come to that. So where we stopped was when we were talking about Shiganti. That was on 117. Kashyacha parama ishwasa Shiganti cha mahan ratha Drishtadyumna viradaccha Sattiki cha aparajitaha Drupada Draupadeyascha Sarvasha Pratipipate Saubhadracha Mahabahu Shankan Dhamnyu Pratak Pratak. So he is listing that here Sanjaya is listing the different kings which are ready from the Pandava side. That is Kashi Raja, then Shikanti, Drishtadyumna, Virata. Virata is the king, Virat Raja is the king who gave shelter to Pandavas during their, anonymous exile into forest for 13 years. And then Satyaki is Yudhana, is the charioteer of Krishna. Then we have Drupada, king of Panchali, Drupada, the king of Panchala. Sons of Draupadi, the 5 sons of Draupadi, and son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu. They were, all of them started their own respective conches in response to what Bhishma did from the side, Bhishma and others did from the Kaurava side. Sakhosha Dashtra Rashranam Hridayani Vyadharayat Nabhascha Prithivimcha Eva Tumulaha Vyanunadayan. Okay. So, here we have to understand that Saha, that sound, Saha Goshaha, that sound, Dashtra Rashtrana of the Dhritarashtra side, the sons of Dhritarashtra is Dashtra Rashtra's. Hridayani Vyadharayan. It was heartbreaking or, shattering the whole body with the sound. Nabhascha Prithivin Eva. Both the sky and the earth started trembling. Tumulaha Vyanunadayan, by the echo of their conches from the Dhartarashana. Atha Vyavasthitan Drishtva Dhartarashran Kapidvajaha Pravrutre Shastra Sampade Dhanu Udyamya Pandava Rishikesha Tada Vakyam Idam Aha Mahipate. So up to this is Sanjaya telling the scenario of the war field to Dhritarashtra. Mahipate, here he is telling Atha, means thereupon, Vyavasthitan Drishtva Dhartara Rashtra'n. Having seen the Dhritarashtra side arrayed or Vyavasthita means arranged in thing, Kapidwaja Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanuhu Udyamya Pandavaha Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Idam Aha. So, Kapidwaja Dwaja means flag. Kapidwaja means the flag where the Hanuman, figure of Hanuman is there on the flag, on the chariot. That is of Arjuna. He, having taken the bow and arrow, Rishikesham tada vakyam aidam aha. He starts the following words to Rishikesha means Sri Krishna. Mahipate means, O king. He is addressing to Dhritarashtra. Senayo upayo madhye ratam stapaya me achyuta. Me ratam, my chariot. E achyuta mean hey Krishna. Senayor ubhayor madhye stapaya. Please place it between the two armies. Because he is the charioteer and Krishna, he is the Lord sitting in the chariot and Krishna is the charioteer. So he is ordering Krishna, or he is telling Krishna to place the chariot between the two armies. Yavat etan niriksha aham yoddukaman avasthitan kaihi maya saha yodavyam asmin rana samudyame. So here he said yavat means till etan nirikshe. All these have to observe carefully. This aham nirikshe. I am going to carefully observe what? Yoddukaman avasthitan kaihi. Who are with whom I have to fight. Who are desiring to fight and arranged in the battlefield as my opponents. Maya yoddum means desiring to fight with me. Saha yoddum asmin ranam samudyame. In this war, I want to see who are all people have arrayed on the opposite side to fight with me. Now, Krishna is taking the Yotshyamanan aveksha aham ye ete atra samagataha dastra rashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. So, durbuddhehe, evil-minded, dastra rashtrasya, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. In this war, the well-wishers, ye ete atra samagataha, and who are all well-wishers for two on the side of Dhartarashtra, means on the Dhritarashtra side, who have assembled on the behalf of Duryodhana. Tan Yotsyamanan aham avekshe. Them, those who will be fighting with me, I will be fighting. I want to scan them, or aveksha means I want to glance at the entire army who are now getting ready to fight with me. Then these words were repeated by Sanjaya as if spoken by Arjuna to Dhritarashtra. Now he goes back to his own this thing, Sanjaya Uvacha. Eva muktva rishikesho gudakeshana bharata senayor uvayor madhye stapayitva ratottamam bhishmadrona pramukatha sarvesham cha mahishitam uvacha partha pasya etan samavetan kurun iti. So here Bharata, so here that Bharata means or descendant of Bharata. Gudakeshena eva muktva. Gudakesha means by Arjuna, thus addressed. Rishikeshaha uvayo senayo madhye cha sarvesham mahishitam bhikshmadrona pramukhaha ratottamam stapayitva parthaha etan samavetan kurun pasya iti uvacha. So what is that? Lord Krishna placed both the armies, he places the chariot between both the armies and say that now observe, and it was in front of Bhishma and Drona, Bhishma Drona Pramukata. And placing there, he says to Arjuna, O Partha, these assembled all members of Kuru dynasty. Etan samavetan kurun pasya. You see them who are all assembled for, is the statement made by Krishna to Arjuna. So Sanjaya says, this is the statement which Krishna said, iti tum shrunu. Thus you hear. What is that Arjuna Dhritarashtra should hear? Atra apasyat sthitan partha pitrun ata pitamahan acharyan matulan bhratran putran pautran sakhin tata shushrun shwashuran suhrida cha eva senayo uvayo api. So atra pasyat. What does atra means? There, apasyat means he saw. What? Partha apasyat. Pitrun, pitamahan, acharyan. That is, Pitrun means uncles and granduncles, grandsire, Bhishma, pitamahan, acharyan, teachers, matulan, maternal uncles, bhratran, brothers, putran, sons and nephews, pautran, grandsons, sakhin, friends, tata, kashuran, father-in-laws, suhridha, well-wishers of other kingdom also. Cha eva senayo ubayo api. So these are the people standing face to face to each other, ready to fight. Tan samiksha sa kaunteya sarvan bandhun avastitan kripraya paraya avishta vishidan idam abravid. Now, tan avastitan sarvan bandhun samiksha. Present there all of them as they are all relatives to each other, but ready to fight and kill each other. After samiksha means after seeing them, Taha, Kaunteya means the son of Kunti, Arjuna, Paraya Kripaya Avishta. Avishta means overwhelmed by the extreme, deep compassion. Vishidan idam abravid. With great sorrow spoke in this manner. So this shows the first statement of the nature of mind which Arjuna is exhibiting, which Sanjaya has noted, but when we see the verses coming from Arjuna, we will know what is the anguish and the sorrow he is going through. Drishtva imam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samusvastitam Sidanti mama gatrani mugam cha parishyushyati Vepathuh cha sharire me romaharshascha jayate. These are the words of Arjuna. What does it say that? Krishna, hey Krishna, samupastitam yuyutsum, arrayed and ready for battle, all in a fighting spirit, yuyutsum, imam swajanam, all these kinsmen, drishtva, having seen, as I see, mama gatrani, my limbs, sidanti means they are giving away, they are becoming powerless. Cha mukham shushyati, parishyushyati. My mouth is parched, getting parched, because I am feeling the sorrow and fear and anguish that I am having my mouth parched. Cha me sharire vepathu romaharshascha jayate. Not only that, my body throughout is shivering and romaharshati jayate. I am getting goosebumps seeing that I have to now kill my own people who are arrayed on this thing. I am also not only going to kill some of them, and some of my people who have stood for me in the form of helping me, they are also going to be facing the war and they may also get killed. So both sides, there is going to be calamity. And thinking about that, I am getting this powerlessness. Even though I know myself what is the power with me, but thinking about who are going to be facing each other and what is going to be the calamity that is going to come out of this war, my mind is giving away, my limbs are giving away, my mouth is parching, my body is shivering, and I am getting goosebumps thinking about what will happen. Gandivam samsade hastat tvakcha eva dahyate nacha shaknomi avastatum dramati ivacha me manaha. Me manaha, my mind. Hastat gandivam samsade. Gandivam is the special bow and arrow that anvil with arrows which has been gifted to him by Lord Shiva himself. So that is slipping out of my hand. Tvak evacha paridahyate. My whole body is burning due to the fear and fever, everything which is the fever which has caught my body. Cha me manaha brahmati. My mind is not able to concentrate. I am feeling giddy and, I am as if I am losing my own control. Iva bhavati aham avastatum chana shaknomi. I am not able to hold myself steady. Avastatum. I am unable to stand myself. I am unable to hold myself. These are all the words of Arjuna when he is standing in the middle of both the armies. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava nacha shreya anupashyami hatva swajanam ahave. Keshava, O killer of Keshi. That means he is addressing Keshava, means Krishna. Aham nimittani cha viparitani pashyami. I am seeing bad omens. Viparitani means nimittani, omens. Viparitani means opposite. I am seeing bad omens. Pashyami. Aham ahave swajanam hatva shreyachana anupashyami. I killing my own men, kinsmen, in this war, I do not see any good happening to me. I cannot see anything is going to come out of good out of this war. Because I am going to eliminate so much of my own people. Where will be the people to rejoice the victory in the war? I am killing them with whom I should be enjoying and rejoicing the war, victory of the war. But I am using them for my own victory. I am unable to do this, O Krishna. Nakhangshe vichayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha. Kim na rajyena govinda kim bogai jivitena va. Hey Krishna, aham na vijayam na kangshe. I am not coveting for any victory in such a case. Nacha rajyam sukhani cha. Nor I am looking for the kingdom or the pleasures after becoming the king by killing my own people. O Krishna, Govinda, na rajyena kim va bhogai jivitena kim siddhyanti. What is the purpose of the luxuries, even life itself, to us when the kingdom is there without my own people? Such a win is not a win. It is not a victory. So how can I fight this? Yesham artai kangshitam na rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. Te ime avastitaha yuddhe pranan tyaktva dhanani cha. Acharya pitara putra tada evacha pidamaha. Madula swashura pautra shala sambandhina tada. Na yesham arthe rajyam bhoga cha sukhani kankshati. Kangshitam. We for whose sake the kingdom and the luxuries are going to be won over a war, all of them, te ime acharya pitara putra cha tada eva pitamaha matulaha shashura pautra shala tada sambandhina dhanani cha pranan tyaktva yuddhe avastita. When the war ends, all of them, acharyaha, the teachers, pitaraha, uncles, putraha, sons, grand uncles, pitamaha, matulaha, maternal uncles, shashuraha, father-in-laws, pautraha, grandnephews, shyalaha, brother-in-laws, tata sambandhinaha, other relations, dhanani cha pranan tyaktva yuddhe avastita. On the battlefield, who have arrayed for the fighting the war, the wealth and the lives is at the stake of those people for whom I am going to fight this. So he is seeing them as me and mine. Please understand that. He is seeing them in relation with his own relationship. His teachers, his grandson, granduncles, brothers, relatives, all of them. And the wealth and everything which they are also going to lose their wealth and life. Etan na handum ichhami gnataha api madhusutanaha api trailokye rajye rajasya hetoho Kimnu Mahi Krite. Madhusudana, O killer of the demon Madhu, again addressing Krishna. Gramata, being killed, even if being killed, Trailokya Rajyasya, Hetoho Api, even for the exchange of the sovereignty or the pleasures of the three worlds, of all the three worlds, that is the heaven, the hell and the earth, all these do not, Etan na hantum ichhami mahikrite, for the sake of the kingdom of the here on the earth, because this war is for the kingdom in the earth. Even if all the wealth from all the three worlds, the heaven, the hell and the earth it is nothing worthwhile if I am going to kill these people for the purpose of the kingdom on the earth. How can I explain this to you? Kim nu vaktavyam asti iti. Nihatya dahtarashtan naka priti syat janardanaha papam eva ashrayet asman hatva etan atatayinaha. Hey Janardana, now one more word of Krishna. See, this is the beauty of Vyasa. He has used different names of Krishna as a killer of so many enemies, entities in his life. Krishna has killed all of them. And when Arjuna is referring to them, he is reminding Krishna that you did for that purpose. You did this for this, you killed this demon for that purpose. So every killing done by Krishna had a purpose behind it. Whereas I don't see any purpose in killing my own people here. Even if it is going to get me all the pleasures from all the three worlds. So Janardanaha, the maintainer of all living entities, Jana Ardanaha, means he is the one who is maintaining. See, the words which is used by Arjuna also is in telling Krishna that you are the one who is going to maintain all the people as as Avatara, Krishna. And you are now bringing me in between to kill the people whom you are maintaining. Tartara Rashtra'n Nihatya Naka Priti. By killing the sons of Dhritarashtra, what is that happiness which we are going to get? Etan atatayinaha hatva asman papam eva ashrayet. By killing this, atatayina means desperate people who are arranged for the war. Even if they are desperate for the war, by killing them, surely we are going to not get any punya. We are going to get papam only. We are going to accrue the sins. Yetasmat naharya vayam hantum dartarashran swabandhavan swajanam hi katam hatva sukhino syam madhava. Madhava. Again, another word of Krishna being used. The husband of the Lord of wealth, Madhava. Therefore, we Swabandhan Dartarashran na hantum arha. Therefore, we are not eligible, deserving to kill our own people, sons of Dhritarashtra. Because they are his Swajanam Hatva Katam Sukhino Syam. Swajanam, they are our own people. By killing them, how can we remain happy? Yadyapi te ete na pashyanti lobha upahata chetasaha kulakshaya kritam dosham mitra drohe cha patakam katam nat neyam asmabi papat asmat nivartitum kulakshaya kritam dosham prapasyat bi janardana. Now he is giving a hypothetical question. Yadyapi means even though lobha upahata chetasa, with the blinded greed for victory, ete kulakshaya kritam, by destroying our own race, dosham cha mitra droham patakam na pashyanti. The Dhartarashtra, these people who are now ready to fight for the war, they are not able to see, they are not able to perceive the, mitra droha and patagam, mean other sins, which they are going to accrue by killing their own kinsmen. O Janardana, O Krishna, kulakshaya kritam dosham prapashyabhi. The kulakshaya means accruing the destruction of one's own. Kula means family. Dosham means bad deed. Prapasyabhi, by those who can see clearly. Asmapi asmat pat nivartitam katam na neyam. Why should not think of desisting from committing these sins by us, asmabihi? I am able to see that I am going to do a great sin. So knowing very well that I am going to do a great sin, should I not withdraw from the war and not accrue the sins and the calamities that is going to happen by destroying the family and the kinsmen? Kulakshaye prapasyanti kuladharma sanatana dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharma abhibhavati uta. Kulakshaye, with the destruction of the families, sanatana kuladharma pranashyati. Sanatana means long lasting, which is age long. Kuladharma means traditions, family traditions. Pranashyanti, they will be destroyed. Dharme nashte krishnam kulam adharma uta abhibhavati. When this is destroyed, the family tradition is destroyed, and the virtue having been lost, dharma nashtam, entire kulam adharma uta bhavibhivati. The entire race which is surviving after the war will be driven or will be forced to hold on to vices, because there won't be any grandsires or elderly people or people with wisdom, acharya and others, to advise and give the guidance. All of them will be perishing in the war. So the family or the generations to come will suffer from the lack of guidance. Adharma abhibhavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha strishu dushtasu varshneya jayade varnasankara. Krishna, O Krishna, adharma abhibhavat, with the preponderance of the ills of the loss of tradition, kulastriya, the women of the family, pradushyanti, the ladies will get corrupted. Not only the ladies will get corrupted, they will be forced to get corrupted by the men who do not follow the dharmas also. So when they say one side, we should take that they themselves cannot become bad. There will be people who will be doing bad to the women also. So, hey Varshneya, O descendant of Vrishni. Strishu dushtasu varna sangara eva jayate. When the women do not have the tradition, upkeeping and all, there will be mixing up of tradition, and that will erode the values and moral values and dharma and everything in the society. Because the women in the household are the cradle of civilization. They teach the children with values and beliefs through the stories and the anecdotes which they have learnt in their growing up, so that the children are educated about the moral values and beliefs. When the women get corrupted and they don't have any guidance from the tradition, they will not have the stories to educate and bring up the new generation with values and beliefs. So that is why it is so important that the traditions are maintained. Sangara narakaya eva pulagnanam pulasyacha patanti pitara hi esham luptapindodaka kriya. Sangaraha, by due to this promiscuity of progenies, pulagnanam, the destroyers of race, cha kulasya narakaya eva bhavati. The race itself will be damned because of that. Of Esham, of them, Lupta Pindodaka Kriya Pitarahi Padanti. When the race gets rid to promiscuity and there won't be people who with tradition to do the Pindaga, Udaka Pinda, that is for the rites which is to be done, like the proper burial, proper rituals for the departed soul, etc. Pitaraha means those who are departed from here. Narakaya eva patanti. They will be falling into the hell. Doshai edai kulagnanam varna sangara karakaihi. Utsadyande jati dharmaha kula dharmacha shashvata. This etai varna sankara karakai. What this cause, which is causing this admixture of caste or the promiscuity. Doshai kulagnanam shashvata kula dharma cha jadi dharma cha utsyadhyante. Utsyadhyante means get destroyed or extinct. What? Jati dharma, family customs. Kula dharma, the caste traditions relating to varna, etc. And by killing of the kinsmen, all these age-long traditions will fall into the hands of evil people. Therefore, none of them will be able to maintain the traditions and the customs in the society. Therefore, the departed souls also will not be treated properly. Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vasaha bhavati iti anushrushruma. Janardana, O Krishna, Utsanna kula dharmanam, for those who have lost their family tradition, manushyanam, of the men, narake aniyatam vasaha bhavanti. They will be living indefinitely in the hell, because there won't be any punya karmas which will be known to the people because the traditions have lost. So whatever they will be doing will be without any guidance of do's and don'ts. What is to be done, what is not to be done, which is right, which is not right. So it becomes it is what we are hearing, that when the traditions and the customs are lost, the the departed souls are sent indefinitely toward the hell because they would not have done anything which is worth elevating them to the Swargaloka. Aho vada bahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yad rajya sugam lobena andum swajanam udyata. Aho, but what a pity. Yet vayam mahat papam kartum vyavasita. Though we, through the great sin, set our mind for the commission of the, lust of enjoyment of the world or the throne, because they are fighting for the kingdom by killing our own kinsmen, Swajanam, Handum Udyata, are intended of killing our own people. We are due to lust for the throne and enjoyment. So this is his vision, that I am fighting the war for the lust, for the desire of what? Getting the kingdom and enjoying the bhogas or the luxuries of the kingdom. Yadibam apratikaram ashastram sastra pananyaha dartarashtre rane hanyu tat me kshemataram bhavet. Now, yadi, in case, if I am dropping my arms and unarmed dies without resisting, apratikaram, shastrapaneyaha, when I am leaving my arms, I am remaining unarmed and unwilling to fight, unresisting. Dhartarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Rene Hanyu, in the war they will kill me. Tarhi, then, tat me kshemataram bhavet. In that case, it will be better for me that I get killed by the Kauravas or the Duryodhana and the others. Because getting killed in a war, I am entitled for Swarga, because that was the belief those days. Those who fight a war and get killed in a war for the sake of the country, they get, the Swargaloka. Sanjaya Uvacha. All those things were told words of Arjuna. Now Sanjaya is saying, Eva Muktva Arjuna Sankhye Rete Upastidam Upavishad Visrudya Sasharam Chapam Shoke Sangriva Manasaha. Now the mind of Arjuna is being explained by Sanjaya. Sankhye means in the battlefield. Shoga Samvigraha Manasaha. The one whose mind is agitated by grief. Shoke Samvigraha Manasa. Arjunaha is a adjective for Arjuna. Eva Muktva, having said these words, whatever we have read till the 46th verse, having spoken, Sasharam Chapam Visrujya, means both the bow and the arrow, having cast aside, he keeps it aside. Rata upaste upavishad. He got down from the chariot, went to the backside of the chariot and sat down. He didn't want to face the war because he was overstuck with the grief. Now with this, the picture is very clear. What is the picture which we have been shown? The verses 26 to 28 was showing the change of mind of Arjuna, leading to attachment. To whom? to Sojana for the kinsman. His attachment is being shown by the verses 26 to 28. Whereas verses 25 to 34 is where he is wailing and crying due to the grief on seeing the enormity of the task he is to do by killing his own men. Not only Pitamaha, grandsire, or the teachers, or relatives, children, grandchildren, all of them. That is the grief which is overtaking Arjuna at that time. And the last verses from 35 to 46 is the delusion where he is justifying his grief-ridden withdrawal from the war is much better than the consequences thereof. What are the consequences? The tradition, the customs will be lost because the people who to give and withhold the tradition and the customs won't be alive because they will get killed in the war. And once they get killed in the war, there won't be people to teach the tradition and customs. Thereby the families will get disarrayed. There won't be ladies there will be more ladies available than men because it is the men who will get killed. So when the ladies are more, they will have to now look for suitable men from other caste and, range or ages and things like that, which will lead to promiscuity and varna sangara. What is that? Mixing up of, caste and customs. And that will lead to total destruction of do's and don'ts as prescribed by the Vedas. And when that total destruction takes place, there won't be any one who knows the tradition to do the after-death rituals for those who are departing and those people who will be departing, because he is expecting him will be available after death, because he is going to kill others if Arjuna is fighting the war. So he will be available, but there won't be tradition to do the last rites for himself, because even his children will get killed if he get killed. Who will do his last rites? All those thoughts comes into the mind of Arjuna, and that is the sorrow and the delusion which is stemming out of. That is the moha which he is doing. All these things makes him shiver, and he puts down his bow and arrow, goes behind the chariot, while Krishna is still sitting in the front. And now Krishna has to get up and come to Arjuna to start the advice. Talk about what is to be done, what is not to be done. That is where the second chapter is beginning. So, I'm stopping here with the first chapter, which is the picturization of confusions of Arjuna. Now look at our own life. Is it not attachment with which we are doing most of the action? It is me, mine. I'm not talking about attachment to people. Attachment to wealth, name, fame. All of them are attachments for which we are working. In the process, we are ready to even climb on the shoulders of our colleagues or, other people whom we value for our own benefit. They have been helpful for us, but when an opportunity comes, we are ready to sacrifice them for our own benefit. This happens in the official circles and all. Even if it is in the business, there is cutthroat competition. You are ready to undercut and aggrandize the wealth to such an extent that you are starving more than 2/3 of the world population, and by aggrandizing and holding the wealth to the related few. All this shows that the values and traditions with which the moral values and beliefs have been kept has destroyed, because humanity has been fighting endless wars all the time, either direct wars or proxy wars. War has ever stopped on the surface of the earth. One country or the other, or one party to another party, or one sect of people or the other sect, everywhere there is war or fighting going on. And this has eroded the values and beliefs with which systems were promulgated and supposed to have helped the humanity. And we can look into this as an example that a country which has never waged a war for aggrandizing or accumulating others even an inch of land. We might have given out land as a compromise, but we have not aggrandized and captured land like others do. Why the base faith and belief is that we will not touch anybody else's wealth, what is the land or property or any of that matter. This belief had held Bharat or the India so long. But within India now the division is taking place, which is going to show the ruptures and fractures. All us are showing that every one of us are in a situation of Arjuna with facing the problems of life brought to us by ourselves, by abandoning values and beliefs in the life. How do we do that? Krishna is going to guide us through chapters 2, then 3 to 18. 2 alone is chapter 2 is a standalone chapter by itself. If somebody has understood chapter 2, he doesn't have to study the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. But if chapter 2 is still a question mark, because we are still not the eligible students, or we have not got clarity to grasp the truth which Krishna is going to teach us, then chapters 3 onwards we have to start from kindergarten. That is where chapter 3 starts. He is teaching Arjuna from kindergarten level of values and belief system, so that he understands how system works, what is the values we have to hold on to, what is inevitable and what is avoidable. All those things will become clear to us when we complete the Gita. So tomorrow's lecture, Friday's lecture, which we will do, I'm going to bring in a comparison between Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Aurobindo and Kashmir Shaivism. Each one has got its own methodology of evaluation. Which one is right, which one is wrong, each one of you have to decide yourself. I'm not here to say this one is better, that one is better. At the end, I will say what I feel is best. But that doesn't mean that you have to accept that. So, when that is not being explained properly by the commentators, I will bring in the other aspects which should make it more understandable from Krishna's point of view as an advice to us, rather than the commentator's viewpoint to us. Sorry. So let us see how we can make a good study of Bhagavad Gita rather than following somebody's footsteps. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you very much, Binduji. Again, a very profound session on how Arjuna is being initiated in the path of learning. I've opened the chat and hand raising. Binduji will be available for about half an hour or so.
Nobody will have any question. Okay, then let us close the room.
Okay, Binduji, I think there's no questions today.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, where tomorrow's session will be special because I'm not taking any verse from Bhagavad Gita, but I'll make a comparison between the different philosophers who have written commentaries on Gita, so that we will get a viewpoint of all of them, and we will see that how to make a choice of our own best option we have.
I thought
Yes, you want to?
Yes.
Yes, you wanted to come? Please come.
Namaste, Binduji. How are you?
Namaste, Yash. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Namaste, Prakashji.
Namaste.
So, Binduji, in the last session which you conducted, was it a big summary? Because in the starting you were saying something like there was adharma, but in the end you were summarizing different philosophers, where the first view from Shankaracharya was there was no adharma. Then from the second view of Ramanujacharya, there was adharma even done by Arjuna, but then eventually he was doing what was to be done from a god's perspective. So he was whatever the instruction came from the god, that's why. So it was a bit confusing for me when I heard the replays
Right.
when overall summary was there, because in the starting you said that even Bhishma Pitama did adharma, but like there was and you pulled out so many nyayas. Like one of the nyayas from Shankaracharya was this vidhi and what was the exception, right? So there was like so many questions with me.
I knew that, yes, that I have done not complete. I have done a introduction only to that aspect of it. That's why tomorrow's session I am going to devote fully for that. But I may not be using Shikanti and Bhishma as example, but the comparative approach to how do we approach the problems in life, what should be Advaitic way, what is Vishishtadvaita way, what is the Dvaita way, what is the integral yoga way of Aurobindo, and what is the Kashmir Shaivism bringing in. We'll bring all those things and compare place one against one and against the other, not against other, side by side of the other, so that we all get a clear picture as to when we are coming to a particular verse later in the Bhagavad Gita, I may have to deviate from Shankaracharya or Ramanuja or Madhva or like that. When I'm deviating and explaining it, we should understand that why the deviation makes it valid. Because we have to look from the context and the approach with which Krishna is going to approach it. What happened was a Shankaracharya, Ramanuja or Madhva or Aurobindo, or all of them had preconditioned their approach towards philosophies. And they read the book with the glasses of that nature. But I don't want us to do that. Having got an opportunity to be free from any conditioning, because why Shankara did that time, there is a reason. Why Madhva did that time is a reason. Why Ramanuja did, there is a reason. But we don't have a reason of what was facing Shankara, Ramanuja, or Madhva, or Aurobindo. All of them had their own conditions under which they stuck to the philosophy. We have the freedom. So I want to place all of them side by side, and the freedom will be yours to choose which suits you best, because each one of us have got a different mind. Our mind will appreciate something, will not appreciate another thing. We may have a doubt. We may have a question. Clarify that before you reject something or before you accept something, so that clarity is more important than the nature of the philosophy. That is why we should do this tomorrow as a separate session.
Thank you, Binduji. One more follow-up question is, and I agree the way you are doing it, only the right way. But, one more follow-up question is, when you have asked about this yesterday in the session, you were saying that he has put Swadharma lesser than the Dharma of the truth. Should Swadharma be defined in that manner only? Because as far as my experiential understanding is, Swadharma, Dharma and Niswabhava Dharma all aligns all together in one way. So there we don't need to be conflicting about which dharma is higher or which dharma is lower. I mean, with the very principle of one truth, there will be only one dharma, the dharma which is aligning with the moksha. So there is no, I mean, as per this is like my understanding, but that's why it may be a little more detailed from you. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's why I'll deal that also tomorrow.
Okay.
Because the word dharma itself is very confusing to all of us. And then when we add Swadharma and Nishkama Karma, all of them when we bring in, then it can be a real, mind-twisting approach towards our day-to-day responsibilities, life, values, beliefs, ethics, morality, etc., etc. It is not part of actually speaking that Bhagavad Gita, but then I am bringing it as as an additional information for all of us, so that we know exactly why Krishna said that at that moment. Because we are not going to read Mahabharata, nor we are going to evaluate the activities of Krishna and Arjuna or others in the Mahabharata war. We are only going to discuss the advice of Krishna and to Arjuna. That doesn't discuss about the events which are happened in the Mahabharata. So the events in Mahabharata has to be seen from the Krishna's point of view, not from our values and beliefs which we are holding today. That is why that the word dharma has got to be understood properly. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Venkat. Yes. Thank you, Prakash. We'll close the room. Can close the room. We'll see you on Friday. Same time.
Oh.
That is tomorrow. Okay.
Hari Om. Good night.
Hari Om. Good night.